unsheltered, you move around a lot, and it becomes exhausting in itself, whether it's hot or not. The heat adds on like a deadly layer of risk.
Another day of record heat across much of the West, and the early season warm-up is prompting concerns about the most vulnerable in our communities. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. Today, Phoenix nearly hit the century mark, topping out at 99 degrees, and we are only in March. That was a record high temperature and part of a warming trend all across the West. Let's give you a live look tonight at downtown Phoenix, where things are beginning to cool off. The city has seen 2 straight days of record heat. As Fox 10's Steve Nielsen reports tonight, the unseasonably hot temperatures are especially concerning for people who don't have places to cool off.
The back of the truck reveals what matters most on a day like this.
Each of our Hope coaches are equipped with ice chests.
Water, cold water.
That's the one common thing they want, is the water.
Corinne and Justin are driving around for Phoenix Rescue Mission, looking to help those without shelter on the warmest day of the year so far.
When you're unsheltered, you move around a lot, and it becomes exhausting in itself, whether it's hot or not. The heat adds on like a deadly layer of risk.
Last summer, around half of those who died from heat-related illness were homeless. 602 died in 2024 in Maricopa County, but it was actually the first drop in numbers year over year in a decade. There were 643 heat-related deaths in 2023.
We're the tip of the spear. We're the first, most of the times we're the first one with our hands on somebody suffering a heat emergency.
The Phoenix Fire Department gets a lot of credit for the drop, instituting new cooling bags filled with ice to cool someone down waiting for an ambulance.
We're running on people where they're spiking a core temperature of 106 and 107. Yes, transport to the hospital is going to get them better, but is there anything we could be doing in between?
311 people received that treatment last summer. The city says extending hours at cooling shelters helped too. Tuesday, city councilors met to discuss this year's heat response plan. One change proposed this year, a new 24/7 cooling center. The Phoenix Fire Department's efforts are a big part of this year's plan as well.
We're hoping that we do make an absolute difference in the numbers and that those heat-related fatalities come down.
The focus of this city council meeting really centered around those cooling centers, how many are needed, how many hours they should be operational each day. They say they need those 24/7 options because keeping everyone cool in the nighttime hours is just as important during the height of the day. Steve Nielsen, Fox 10 News.
And warmer weather is also creating dangerous conditions for hikers in Provo, Utah. Chunks of melting ice from Bridal Veil Falls fell onto 2 people yesterday. One of those hikers suffered serious injuries, and a helicopter rushed him to a nearby trauma center.
He had back pain, was unable to walk, and they were just at the base of the waterfall. It cracks where it wants to crack, and it does go when it wants to go. We can't really predict when and how it's going to happen.
We have not received an update on how those hikers are doing tonight. First responders, though, say it's important that people in this area stay aware of their surroundings and carry emergency supplies with them. In Oregon, people took advantage of today's sunny, warm weather and they headed outside. The Oaks Amusement Park in Portland was the place to be for many. Temperatures were in the 70s and there was not a cloud in sight. If thrill rides aren't your thing, though, there's always the playground, which drew a large crowd of children, many of them off school for the week.
It is a pretty fun park, and I mean, it's spring break. Who wouldn't want to come to this park?
I mean, you can't beat this weather this time of year, so you never know when you're going to get sun.
All right, for more on this warming trend we've been seeing all across the West, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Rosemary Orozco. And Rosemary, things are going to start to cool down here in the coming days.
You're right, Alex. Summer cameo is going away. A beautiful view here over Seattle this afternoon, 73 degrees, but by tomorrow, severe thunderstorms will be a possibility in the Pacific Northwest, including Seattle. Take a look at San Francisco today, coming in at 80 degrees and didn't even break a record. Some areas over the San Francisco Bay did, though. 90 degrees in Livermore today, breaking a record. And how about Phoenix? We talked about this already. 99 and a new record set here as well. Did pick up on 100 degrees where? In Palm Springs, 100 this afternoon. And as we look over towards areas of Las Vegas, 88 reported there. Temperatures in and around the states now looking much milder. Take a look at Seattle, dropping off dramatically, 63 there. San Francisco enjoying 70 degrees at this hour, and areas over Phoenix still a warm one, 93 there. Changes coming our way. This ridge is beginning to be pushed aside by this system here that is still well off the coastline. Now by tomorrow, it's impacting the Pacific Northwest and parts of California. By Thursday, Southern California and the Intermountain West, including the Northern Rockies. The timeline on this, tomorrow morning, starting out with just some drizzle along the west coast here. You can see all the way down into Southern California will pick up a little bit as well. But once this comes ashore, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's still coming. So scatter showers back in the forecast with cooler conditions, cloudy conditions, and rainy conditions, not only through Friday, but really through the weekend, and some of those long-range models indicating the wet weather could last into early next week. So summer-like weather is gone, spring-like weather returning, and temperatures are falling as early as tomorrow. Again, Seattle looking at 68 degrees, and notice the thunder and lightning there popping off. Temperatures continuing to cool Thursday into Friday. Friday, a very cool day in Seattle at 53. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Bay Area also cooling down after 80 degrees today. Low 60s expected for tomorrow. Los Angeles in the 60s as well. As we take a look at the Intermountain West, very pleasant weather for Denver in the days ahead. Upper 70s to low 80s with partly cloudy skies. And Phoenix tomorrow going to be a very hot one, but not quite as hot. Low 90s in the forecast, a little bit cooler on Thursday. A dramatic drop expected on Friday. Alex?
Yeah, a big change coming as we head throughout this week. Rosemary, thank you. This week's warm-up has cherry blossoms blooming all across the West. In Portland, the trees appear to be near peak bloom today. Japan donated these cherry blossom trees to the city back in 1991. The park where they're planted serves as a memorial to the 120,000 Japanese Americans who were incarcerated during World War II. Today, one park visitor said she grew up learning about the symbolic meaning behind those trees.
The history in World War II, when there were the concentration camps, and they took a lot of the Japanese, including, I went to Lincoln High School, and we have students who were taken as well. And so it's like a friendship and a memorial of that relationship being restored.
Thousands of people are expected to show up to the park to see this year's bloom. A demonstration is happening in the San Francisco Bay Area tonight. Protesters are voicing their opposition to a Trump administration plan to use IRS data to help with immigration enforcement. As KTVU's Mark Sayer reports tonight, local leaders say this plan could reduce tax revenue.
Whether documented or not, small business owners and individuals are required to pay taxes. Even without a Social Security number, the IRS will issue you what is called an ITIN, or Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. That allows you to pay taxes regardless of immigration status.
And what we stipulate in order for us to be able to help them is that they have to meet their tax obligations. So these are folks who are paying into the economy.
Mimi Hernandez helps new immigrant businesses get started, and having proper licenses and paying taxes is a key part of the process. But Hernandez says she is already hearing some businesses are afraid to file this year because of the possible link to immigration authorities.
It's an economic disaster, and we're shooting ourselves in our economy in the foot as it's recovering from COVID and the inflation that is occurring right now. People are not gonna feel comfortable filing their taxes.
According to the IRS, an ITIN is only issued for federal tax purposes. It does not qualify you for Social Security benefits, provide or change immigration status, or authorize you to work legally in the U.S. But it does provide a way for anyone without a Social Security number to pay taxes.
It's already had a chilling effect in the east side and really throughout our Latino communities in the city of San Jose. We've already seen members of our undocumented community scared to file their taxes.
San Jose City Council member Peter Ortiz represents East San Jose and says the money from both federal and state taxes does flow directly down to local cities. He says the potential loss of that revenue could impact everyone.
I condemn it because these are tax-paying residents of our country. Our city of San Jose relies on those tax dollars, and we would be directly impacted if this continues.
At the moment, the exact framework of any potential deal between the IRS and immigration authorities has not been announced. Reporting in downtown San Jose, I'm Mark Sayer, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. I just witnessed a murder.
Newly released video shows what happened when gunfire broke out during a large gathering in New Mexico. 3 people died here and 15 others were hurt. Tonight, what investigators are saying about the arrests that have been made so far. Plus, an effort to ensure all shoppers can save money on their groceries. Why the San Diego City Council just passed a first-in-the-nation policy banning digital-only coupons at supermarkets.
My heart's like racing. I don't even.
Newly released video shows the panic that set in for a crowd caught in the middle of a mass shooting in New Mexico. 3 people were killed and 15 others were wounded during that Friday night shooting that happened in Las Cruces. It happened during an unauthorized car show. And today, investigators played video recorded by witnesses at the scene, plus 911 calls and police body camera footage. Authorities believe the shooting stemmed from an altercation between 2 groups at that gathering. Several officers rushed into the crowd of about 200 people to help victims.
Where's the shot? He shot on his arm and I think his leg. Who has this one? Okay, I'm gonna put a transfer on you, okay? Is he shot down there too?
Las Cruces Police Chief Jeremy Story says the suspects in this case are known to have had problems in the past.
As far as gang related, what I can say is that we don't have any direct connection and can name a gang. The behavior, obviously, and some of the stuff they were engaged in prior is consistent with gang activity or gang behavior, and that's the best I can tell you right now on that.
4 people are facing murder charges in this case, including 3 teenagers, and police say it's possible that more arrests could be coming. Tonight, we're getting a look at the mugshot of a woman accused of killing her estranged wife in San Diego County. Yolanda Marodi was captured in Mexico, taken into custody at a hotel near the border in Mexicali. Authorities say Marodi stabbed CAL FIRE Captain Rebecca Marodi last month at her home in Ramona, north of San Diego. She's already been transferred to the custody of the U.S. Marshals Service, and she's expected to face a murder charge. Authorities are continuing to investigate the motive for that deadly stabbing. People frustrated with wildfire debris piling up in their neighborhoods worry now about being put at risk. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez talked with some people who took it upon themselves to test those sites for toxins.
We want not only to stop this, but to amend the community for what they have done.
Residents from the Seven Hills neighborhood in Tunga outside the Zacow Canyon debris basin. Trucks have been going in and out with debris from sediment basins within the Eaton Canyon burn area.
We didn't get any notifications from the county.
You were not notified?
We were not notified from the county, so we actually sent our sanitation department to kind of do some type of testing, but because the sediment was actually in county property, the department could not do any sort of testing until sediment was on the city street.
Those living on homes abutting the work area say their complaints of dust and acrid smells were met with county responses, saying their testing at the site showed no health concerns.
That's when we actually demanded from the county department to kind of do that testing and just to give the community members a peace of mind that it wasn't contaminated.
They got to the point where they were so worried about their health and that of their families and pets that they went ahead and hired a lab to come in and do their own testing.
Here are results from Enthalpy Analytical.
The concerning things about the test is, according to the California EPA, the test results could potentially be in the toxic range for arsenic and selenium.
Concerned parents with students at schools downwind from the site called the principals.
When I spoke with the principal at the high school, he reached out to all the school principals for them all to file complaints so that we could get the air sampling done by South Coast Air Quality Management. They have kids out running track and playing football, and we really don't know what's here.
LAUSD telling Fox 11 they are visiting the school sites and monitoring the situation, but at this point, quote, we have not seen any evidence that the sediment currently going to the site is contaminated in any way, and soil samples have found no elevated levels of harmful contaminants.
We're not saying, oh my God, they're poisoning us. We're saying we don't know, and we're not happy that they continue dumping it without actually letting us find out.
And that was Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez reporting tonight. The Los Angeles County Public Works Department did put out a statement on those concerns, saying their tests have shown, quote, no asbestos and only background levels of naturally occurring materials like lead. We turn now to Phoenix, where smoke from a big fire at an auto scrapyard could be seen for miles earlier today. Crews were called out to the business near 23rd Avenue and Broadway. Officials say they were able to get a handle on these flames relatively quickly. There's no word tonight on what caused the fire, but crews say the flames were centered around a large machine that's used to break down the cars for scrap. At least one engine remained at that scene to make sure the fire doesn't reignite as they move into those evening hours. San Diego has become the first city in the country to ban digital-only coupons. Fox 5's Juliette Vara explains why council members believe this money-saving tactic is unfair.
Just about every major grocery store these days offers digital coupons with extra discounts for consumers to save money at checkout.
These are not savings, they're schemes.
Council members Sean Elo Rivera and Marnie von Wolpert say these digital coupons are unfair because they aren't accessible to everyone, especially some senior citizens who struggle to navigate technology.
I was just buying toilet paper the other day, and it was a $5 discount if you had the digital coupon. Now, to get that coupon, I had to first download an app for Vons. Then I had to sign up for an account. Then I had to scan the proper code to get the digital coupon. And once I was at the cash register, she had to manipulate my phone to figure out where the barcode was. This is ridiculous.
That's why the two council members have proposed the Grocery Pricing Transparency Ordinance. It would ban grocery stores from offering digital-only deals and require them to make offers available in print format.
So there are different ways that a store could do this. They could have a coupon book when you walk in, like we used to have not that long ago, right? You could have a printed coupon available next to the item. You could have a coupon sheet available at the checkout stand that the teller simply scans the barcode to apply the discount. There's a lot of different ways to do this. This is not rocket science.
But grocers say the ordinance is too vague and would cause more harm than good the way it's written and structured now.
We'd have to have a paper copy in the store. There's thousands and thousands of different types of coupons and discounts that people receive digitally, and we would physically not be able to go and prepare those all in store just for anybody to grab at any time.
Tim James with the California Grocers Association says the idea would backfire, leading to less opportunities and discounts for those who do participate in loyalty programs and use digital coupons now. But supporters say there's no more time. They argue San Diegans need a financial break, and this ordinance is a step in the right direction.
There are many people who still don't afford smartphones here in the city of San Diego, and it is unfair for them to see a lower price that everyone else can get if they jump through those hoops.
It's interesting to note that 5 other states in the country considered similar bills. They did not pass. Now, San Diego is the first city in the nation to move forward with this kind of policy. In downtown, I'm Juliette Vara, and I'll send it back to you.
A small community in Washington that's connected by land to Canada is already feeling the impact of U.S. tariffs. The 5-square-mile enclave of Point Roberts is at the tip of a peninsula that's connected to British Columbia, but cut off by land from the rest of Washington. Because of that quirk, its economy is closely tied to Canada's. And because of the escalating trade war, some businesses here are already hurting. One liquor store owner says sales were down 40% last month. A restaurant owner says her business was down more than 50%.
Jobs are at stake, and there are some tough times ahead if things don't change. You know, if we don't get the support from the Canadians, this town will die.
Tourism and retail are the town's primary industries. Before the trade tensions ramped up, many Canadians made the short trip across the border to enjoy the small town ambiance, beaches, and golf course. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, sharpening their skills, how some professional axe throwers from Arizona are preparing for an important competition and building community at the same time.
It's a lot of fun. Young, old, guys, girls, pro, amateur, whatever. We all throw together. It's like a fellowship.
It's not just a bump in the road for drivers in Clatsop County, Oregon. Many say this raised section of highway is actually sending cars flying. The bump sits at mile marker 13 along Highway 26 near David Douglas County Park. On Thursday, a couple captured this video of an SUV going airborne after it hit the brakes right before it hit that bump. Neighbors have been calling for repairs to the bump, but leaders say warmer, drier weather is required in order to make those repairs and do them properly. In Arizona, some professional axe throwers are staying sharp ahead of the World Championships in their unique sport. Fox 10's Dominique Newland spoke with them about the benefits of training with amateurs.
With every swing comes a little adrenaline rush at the Mighty Axe in Phoenix, a top-the-line axe and knife throwing venue packed with a punch.
Honestly, it's like church for us. We come down on Sunday mornings and throw in the league, have some drinks, watch a Sunday ticket, football, sports, whatever, listen to music, and just it's a lot of fun. Young, old, guys, girls, pro, amateur, whatever. We all throw together. It's like a fellowship.
Jamie, the general manager, says the place located on High Street has a full bar, hangout space, arcade games, open to all for a little friendly competition.
We went out to throw, and she actually beat me pretty bad. So, but ever since then, I mean, we've been, I've been throwing for 6 years now.
Professionals even brushing up on their game, like Rob, a.k.a. Axosaurus, and Mike. They're headed to the World Axe and Knife Throwing Championship in Wisconsin.
We do axes, dual axes, so me and Mike throw together at the same time, knives, dual knives, as well as big axe.
The duo will be representing Arizona, competing against 450 throwers from all over the world for a chance at winning a $65,000 prize.
Everybody in axe throwing is a family, so it's more hanging out, learning new tricks, and just hanging out with everybody. Hope we throw good. I mean, that's the key to everything, trying to win it all.
The Mighty Axe hosts all types of events with a VIP room that can be reserved. Rob and Mike will be competing April 3rd through the 6th, aiming for all the bullseyes. For Fox 10 News, I'm Dominique Newland.
All right, wishing them all the best. Finally tonight, you have a chance to help name 2 baby eaglets, getting a lot of attention here in the West. Their parents, Jackie and Shadow, welcomed the bald eagle chicks about 3 weeks ago at their nest in Southern California's San Bernardino Mountains. According to the group Friends of Big Bear Valley, the new chicks are doing well tonight and eating quite a bit. A third chick, unfortunately, died shortly after hatching. Friends of Big Bear Valley are monitoring this nest around the clock. These live images show you what's happening there right now, and you see one of the 2 bald eagles there. A naming contest now underway for the eaglets, and here's how it works. If you donate $5, you can submit 1 name entry. You'll get 3 name entries with a $10 donation, and a $25 donation to the organization gets you 10 entries. All of that money will help the Friends of Big Bear Valley continue the work that they're doing to monitor wildlife in this part of Southern California. And if you want to get in on the naming contest and learn more about the eaglets, you can find all that information up at our website, westcoastwrap.com. Can't wait to hear all the names that folks come up with. Have a great night.